Don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today. Keep chasing the sunshine and go out and play.
And good day, everyone. Welcome to another Deal Reveal. I am coming to you live from the West Coast. That's right, we are. After yesterday being in the Toronto GTA in Burlington, hosting a meet and greet with over 50 amazing Canadians and one American. It was nice to meet you, by the way. Getting to share dreams and opportunities in Ontario. Well, zip, zap, zoop, off we go to California. I'm in San Diego with Janie right now, and we are getting ready for some fun time in the sun and another beautiful week of networking. So try to catch us if you can. This week, we are going to reveal a deal back in the beautiful, sunny, snowy state of Ohio, and we will see if it is a deal or no deal. It's going to be a sexy one, I think. This is actually going to be one of our own that is under contract, actually not under contract, but verbally accepted offer, but soon to be under contract, hopefully in the next couple of hours. And we're going to let us know if you think this is a deal or no deal. If you've been following us, this is a property where pay particular attention. Is this in the Goldilocks zone of the key to freedom? All right. So let us know if it is or it isn't. And if you tell me it is or it isn't before the end, before I get to the point of the end, well, we might have a little something for you. So with that being said, let's get started here. I want to remind you that we had an awesome giveaway on our last deal reveal. So Isabelle Guénette is going to Florida in the magical Muggles Mansion with her family. So congratulations to Isabel. And we are, our epic blueprint is getting tremendous traction. All the VIPs are sold. We actually created a new magical room to have one more spot left. And there are still about a handful and a half of tickets if you're interested to join us live in Florida for the epic blueprint training that's going to happen April 19th to 22nd. So if you'd like to join, there's still time. There's still a couple of spots left on the bus. All you need to do is get a hold of the JK team either by email or on the Facebook page or group. Find a way to get in touch with us and say, hey, is there a spot left? I'm interested. But today, deal reveal. This is the property here. We are going to analyze it lightning fast to see if this is a deal or no deal. We are going to Cleveland Heights in Ohio, $69,000 for this property. Are we ready? Start the clock. Here we go. So when you have a property, you can copy and paste it in the Google. And this time, let's say we go to Zillow. So this is a property that was actually listed for $80,000. We put it an offer at 73, and they kicked back the point of sale inspection, which is basically an inspection done by the city that says, hey, you need to fix all these up in the next couple months. It is a city requirement when you sell a property in certain suburbs, Cleveland Heights being one of them in the Cleveland metro area. So, and it's a pretty big point of sale in the sense that the city estimates that at a minimum, there's $22,000 of work to do on this property to make it livable compliant. It will likely be more. And so we got that point of sale and it was like, it's a pretty big point of sale. So actually I went down personally with our realtor and we walked the property. I was like, we confirmed what was there. And then we said, listen, we said 73 and you were interested at 73, but after reviewing it, we're going to have to be under 70. We're at 69. And they came back and they said, yes. Okay. So that's where we're at in the process right now. We're at 69,000. I purposefully went below the 70. I wanted to get that 7 out of the equation. I want to be under 7 something. I want to be 6 something, 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 because there is a psychological barrier when it comes to changing the first digit of a property, okay? When you try to go from 100,000 to 99,000, it is a psychological jump that needs to happen. Same thing when we go from 79 to 69, from 71 to 69. So with that being said, we're under 70, and now sending out the inspector, and based on things that the inspector will find that were not on the point of sale, that would not be apparent on a walkthrough, we're going to keep negotiating that down. But with that being said, let's go take a look at this property. It is a 3-1, so definitely a single family home. Here are a couple pictures we can look at here. This is it. We got this property here. From the outside, you know, we can definitely see that maybe the roof is going to need some love. We're missing some front facing soffit, maybe some gutters too are disconnected. We got some wood chipping, so you can see that, you know, it's not turnkey, not on the outside, and on the inside as well. They had started doing some work, but there's actually some tape on the walls. See, you can see some tape here. It needs to be repainted. The floors need a little bit of love. So not a turnkey at 69,000 here, but we have identified Cleveland Heights as one of those areas where short-term rentals can have a very nice potential. One bathroom is a little bit of a down, so we will try to create a second half bath in this property to have a 1.5 bath. So that's something that we're going to focus on. So here we go. This is our property here. When you buy a residential property, you want to follow the golden rule: buy low, invest for cash flow. So you want to make sure you're buying under market value. So one question you want to ask yourself is, what is market value for this property? You might be buying it at 69. Is it worth 69, or is it more than that? So let's go see on Realtor. I actually have skipped over Zillow here. Zillow doesn't seem to have its Zestimate pop up right away. I've been enjoying Realtor lately quite a bit. You'll also notice this property was listed for sale at 99, and it started dropping its price because there's a little bit more work needed. Dropped it 99, 85. It went contingent, and then the person backed out. They relisted for 80. I came in at 73, and now we're at 69. So from 99 all the way down to now 69, and I'll probably drop it a tad more after the inspection. So that's the negotiation process, right? We're definitely negotiating in the right direction here. So let me go. Zillow's estimate didn't seem to be there. And on the Realtor here, we have, okay, this is something else. So you see how the data points are starting to go down. Once a property is listed on the MLS, which this one is, by the way, it's going to zone in on those values as an accurate reflection of the price. So obviously, when they started listing it at 100,000 and when they started bringing it down, those were data points for the algorithms to bring the value down. So I look at the trend, see what's happening. There's been no major real estate crashes, and I'd follow the trend. This property, in my opinion, is definitely worth above 125, 130,000 in good condition. I had my realtor run some comps. There's even possibilities that it hit over 150,000 because the way we're going to do it is short-term rental, higher caliber. It will look amazing. We're going to put in about 50,000 in this property. So consider like 65, add in 50,000 for renovation, all in for 115. And I have some comps. Some comps are all the way up to 170,000, and I think more that's what's going to be comparable. But somewhere in the 150 is where we're at. So all in, say we're at 115, 125, say at worst, and we're expected for it to be worth conservatively 150. So you see, there is a renovation, there is a project here, but are we buying at a discount? Yes, we would. We'd be all in for 125 conservative. It'd be worth 150 conservative. There's a 25,000 conservative on both sides spread, so we're buying at a discount. That's part one of the golden rule. Part two of the golden rule is, do we cash flow? So if we're all in for 125, which is a little bit of a higher price point than we're used to in Cleveland, but we're not going to do long-term tenants. But you know, it's always good to see what what the backup, right, the backup strategy could be. So if we did go to rental meter to see how much a long-term tenant would pay for something like this, we can take a look. 1,400. We would renovate this property to the hilt. So we would even be higher than the average at this point. We'd be closer to the 75th percentile with a long-term tenant because we're redoing everything. And so if we're all in for 125 and it's bringing in 1,600 per month rent, well, what do? We can do 1,600 divided by 125, right? We're at 1.3%. So we're well above the 1% rule, which is a really quick calculation to see if we're cash flowing or not. If you want to use our other strategy of the 50% rule, we can certainly do it. 1,600 times 12, slice that in two. We're making about 10,000 a year net. And then if we divide that by how much we're into the property, which we're expecting to be about 115, right? We're about at an 8.5 cap. So as a backup strategy, buying with 25,000 discount and ending up somewhere at an 8 cap, real quick numbers, not bad for like a backup strategy. But this is identified as a potential short-term rental opportunity. So if we're interested in short-term rentals, we don't go to rental meter for long-term rents, we go to AirDNA for short-term rents, okay? So in AirDNA, if you happen to buy the data for the city you're interested in, like for example, we have the Cleveland data purchased here. You can see Cleveland Heights. Oops, let's try to not cover the map too much. So right where my cursor is now, there is Cleveland Heights. These are all the data points. These are all Airbnb short-term rentals. The blues are the like shared spaces, and the purples are people rent the entire house or the entire apartment, right? They're not sharing any spaces, right? So I can remove the shared, and we can see all of those short-term rentals in the greater Cleveland area. So we can go to the top properties because we're only aiming to do top properties. And then we can, for example, put in the zip code for the property, and we can definitely see what these properties can generate. 36,000, for example, in this zip code. But I happen to know also that we are right beside these other two zip codes here. So I'm going to expand because we're definitely right on the border here. So 36,000 wouldn't be too bad. But what about this zip code? Let's take a look at the top properties here. 70,000, 60,000, 50,000 here, 36. So we got another bunch of 30s happening here. Excellent. And the other zip code, 44121. I'm giving you a lot in just a couple of minutes here, I know, but this is it. 46,000, 47, 36, etc. Right? And we have this property, which is actually another one of ours, right here. They say it's making 32. It's actually making a little bit more than that. Not sure why it's writing 32, but the point here is moving forward, we're going to be doing short-term rentals that are amazing turnkey, but we're also going to be theming them to really stand out in the marketplace. So we're definitely going to be on the top end, bringing in 30 to 40,000 on that property. So again, let's say 36,000 is the number. I think it's a rather conservative, well, it's the number we're expecting to get here. We can just slap a 50% rule. If this property brought in 18,000, you can see how this is twice as lucrative as what the long-term tenant would bring, which was at an 8 cap. So suddenly this property could be bringing 18,000, and that's 1,500 a month in income, okay, in cash flow, basically, right? 1,500 a month because we are well, we're over a 15 cap at this point, or right around a 15 cap property. So that is, in a nutshell, what we can have. We have a property that we're buying at a discount. We've got a strategy to create high cash flow So the golden rule is satisfied, and we happen to already own, properties in this area that we know can perform very well. And we're going to one up all these because these are all just nice Airbnbs, nicely, the furniture, the pictures are decent, but we are going to be doing some unique theming in these properties. We're going to make them sports themes, Cleveland Browns themed, the Cavaliers themed, the Chiefs themed, or we can do it casino themed, everything that brings people to Cleveland. We're going to be focusing on that and attracting a very specific type of clientele. And that's going to make us get into that 10%. We're in the top 10% without doing basically anything, just putting decent, professional short-term rental strategies in place. But we want to be this person every single time. Actually, we want to be above this person on our investments. So with that being said, here's the property that we're starting with. We negotiated right, under $70,000, worth about 150 after we're done with it, cash flowing over 1,000 a month. Is this a deal or no deal for you? All right. So everybody on the call, and thank you for chiming in and writing in the Q&A there. Is the chat enabled? Actually, maybe it isn't. But Amanda, Brad, Francois, number 2, Harris, Hassan, Julie, Kim, Latoya, Rakesh, Rob, Sterling, Wendy, wonderful, everybody else. And of course, the extended Facebook families who's listening. Is this a deal or no deal? Deal or no deal? Brad says it is a deal. Kim says it is a deal. Deal in the making. Fantastic. Sterling says, yes, it is a deal for an STR. I would agree with you. A short-term rental at an 8.5 cap is average. It's average, but as a backup, right? You're putting it in, you're creating equity, and your backup plan happens to be like just solid. Not too bad. Amanda, deal. Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. I needed a little bit of reassurance on this one. I want to make sure it was a deal before going forward. So it's been a very, very exciting time for those of you who are, active in the community and on the Facebook group and who are in our meetups and on our NFTC calls and all this. You know that I have been very excited recently, putting in a lot of offers, visiting properties. I've turned on the faucet now that I'm here in Cleveland, and it's very, very exciting. So we actually have four offers on the table right now, accepted offers that just came in this week. And so the plan is to close them all. So next week, I'd like to bring Kim up to reveal the most recent deal that she has got under contract, accepted offer, and then I'm going to line up a couple more. If you are interested to hear what we have going on, the type of investments we're doing, well, this is all about. If you'd like your deal to be featured, if you're considering a property, bring it up here, bring it up to the deal reveal. I'll spend a couple minutes talking about it. And hopefully this is enough juice for you to say, hey, I can do this too. All right. Yes, there's some numbers, but there's some quick tricks to, blast through any analysis paralysis and get you into that first investment. Because it's only after getting your first investment that you'll get your second and your third and your fifth and your 10th. All right. So that's beautiful. Thank you, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed this edition of The Deal Reveal. We'll see you all next week, or we'll see you in the mastery call at the top of the next hour for those of you who are in the advanced NFTC program. Have a great evening, everyone. I am going to prep and get ready for another exciting week ahead. Go get your miracle now for tomorrow. Have a great one.